It all begins on a quiet Sunday afternoon as siblings Barbara and Johnny drive through the Pennsylvania countryside to visit their father's grave. Johnny teases his sister about her fear of cemeteries, mockingly whispering, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." But the joke turns deadly real when a pale, stumbling stranger attacks them without warning, killing Johnny and sending Barbara running in blind terror through the open fields. She finds refuge in an isolated farmhouse, abandoned and eerily silent, where she discovers the gruesome remains of a body upstairs and realizes something has gone horribly wrong across the entire region. Soon, a strong and quick-thinking man named Ben arrives at the farmhouse, having fought his way through dozens of the walking dead on the road. Ben boards up the windows and doors with wood, scavenges for weapons, and tries to keep both himself and the traumatized, barely responsive Barbara alive as the creatures begin gathering outside in growing numbers. The situation grows more complicated when they discover that a small group of survivors has been hiding in the farmhouse cellar. Harry Cooper, a stubborn and cowardly man who refuses to cooperate. His wife Helen, their injured daughter Karen, who was bitten by one of the creatures. Young couple Tom and Judy, and a small radio that crackles with terrifying news reports. Reporters and authorities slowly reveal the horrifying truth. The recently dead are rising from their graves across the entire eastern United States, driven by an unknown cause, possibly linked to radiation from a returned space probe, and they are attacking and consuming the living. Ben and Harry immediately clash over survival strategy. Harry wants everyone locked safely in the cellar, while Ben insists the main floor is more defensible and that staying in the cellar is a death trap. Their bitter power struggle wastes precious time as the undead horde outside grows larger and more aggressive with every passing hour. When Ben spots a working truck in the yard, he and Tom hatch a plan to refuel it and escape to a nearby rescue station. But the plan ends in catastrophe when Tom and Judy are killed in a fiery explosion at the gas pump, and their burning bodies attract even more of the flesh-hungry monsters. Ben barely makes it back inside, and now the farmhouse is truly under siege. The dead are pressing against every boarded window, clawing and pushing with terrifying persistence. Things inside collapse just as fast. Young Karen, weakened by her bite wound, dies in the cellar and reanimates as one of the undead, brutally killing her own mother Helen with a garden trowel in one of the most shocking moments of the film. Harry, panicking and desperate, grabs Ben's rifle, and the two men fight violently until Ben shoots Harry, who staggers into the cellar and dies, only to rise again moments later. Barbara, who had slowly recovered from her shock throughout the night, is suddenly dragged through a window into the mob outside when she recognizes her dead brother Johnny among the attacking horde, now one of them. Ben, now completely alone, retreats to the cellar and locks himself inside with the reanimated bodies of Harry and Helen, shooting them both before collapsing in exhausted silence. When the cold gray morning finally arrives, a posse of armed local men and sheriff's deputies sweeps through the countryside, efficiently and methodically, shooting and burning the remaining undead. Ben hears the gunshots and the barking dogs and climbs upstairs, peering cautiously through a boarded window. And in the film's devastating final moments, the rescue team spots movement in the farmhouse window and shoots Ben dead, mistaking the only survivor for one of the monsters. The men casually drag his body outside with meat hooks and toss him onto a burning pile of corpses, and the film ends with haunting still photographs that feel less like a horror movie and more like a real-world tragedy, leaving audiences with the deeply unsettling message that fear, racism, panic, and the failure to cooperate can be just as deadly as any monster outside the door.